What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I'd love to talk about all things Peloton, cycling, and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday. And today's video, I am curious because I will be reviewing the 7 days of stretching program on Peloton that's dropped recently by Hannah Corbin. The description is, join Hannah for this spicy week-long guided stretching program that highlights your full body's flexibility and mobility. All you need is 10 minutes a day for 7 days to feel fabulous. And it is a 7-day-a-week program. There is one 10-minute stretch every single day. And upon first glance, I'm very, very interested because I am really into stretching now. I stretch pretty much every single day. I always stretch after strength, and then even after cardio, I usually throw on a post-run or post-ride stretch. So having a 7-day-a-week stretching program sounds good. And specifically, I do really like Hannah Corbin's foam rolling classes, and it does seem like there's some foam rolling in these classes as well. So that really intrigues me. But the two drawbacks that make me curious to see if I enjoy this and if it's something that I would repeat in the future is, one, I feel like I usually try to take specific stretches depending on what the workout is. Typically for strength, I'll do full body. Sometimes if it's like a push or pull day, I'll do an upper body specific class. And then for cardio, I'll specifically do a post-run stretch. So I am kind of curious that these are just general stretching, if I feel like that will be enough for what I want to recover from. And then I also am not a huge fan that it seems like most of the classes involve equipment. At least the class that we're doing today, you need a foam roller and a yoga block. And this is more of a me problem, but usually I go to the gym in my apartment, so they don't have stuff like that. I would need to bring it myself. And I'm already carrying quite a few things to the gym, right? I carry my yoga mat, my water bottle, my iPad. So the fact that if I want to do it after my workout, I would have to also bring a yoga block and a foam roller is kind of a lot. So we'll see this week how I fit it in my schedule. I might be doing these more at night and decoupled from my workouts. We'll see. But today I am going to do it with my workout. Today is Monday morning. We're starting the program off with the work week, and I'm just going to do some yoga and Pilates first in my apartment, and then we're just going to go straight on into the first 10-minute stretch. The description is, kick off the week by releasing stuck stress and tension in areas that feel tight. You won't believe how good you'll feel after the first stretch in our 7 days of stretching program. And wow, there's already 30,000 workouts, which I feel like is a lot. So I'm very excited to give it a try. And like I mentioned, you need a workout mat, a foam roller, and a yoga block. So let's hit the mat, do some yoga and Pilates, and then wrap up the workout with a nice 10-minute stretch. I definitely feel like this program is going to be in addition to whatever normal stretching you usually do, because we definitely did some interesting stretches. It was not a bad class, but I do think coming off of a more intense workout, a strength workout, I would want to do a typical full body stretch and then add this in addition. But I'm interested to see because it does seem like we're going to be doing pretty different things every day. But today's was really focused on the foam roller, but not foam rolling, mostly using it for openers, which always feels good, no real complaints. And we did a lot of interesting stretches that I haven't done before. For example, we were laying with the foam roller vertical, and then our back was on the foam roller, which typically I've done it as a chest opener where you have your arms out. But she had one leg folded in, so you were getting a really intense quad stretch, which was interesting and felt good. And I would definitely do that move in the future. So I feel another good thing about this is you could be learning some new stretches that you could just be doing on your own. But I'm not sure if I would ever think, hey, I should take this class again. It was fine to do, and like I'm never going to complain about doing a stretch, but I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing after it. We also did things like pigeon pose, and we did just the classic foam roller opener where we were on our backs and we had our shoulders out, and like I like that move, but yeah, I feel like this isn't a stretch that I would come back to regularly. She did start off the class saying that this whole program is to promote her book, Did You Stretch Though? So let me know if you've read the book. I have read quite a few Peloton memoirs. The title, Did You Stretch Though, is really not speaking to me, but I think at some point I probably will read it. But it is interesting that Peloton is like letting her have this whole program to like promote the book. But she didn't really talk about the book at all. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how that like plays throughout the week. But yeah, today's class was good, but not great. If I had to give it a rating for like enjoyability, I don't know, like a 5 out of 10. I definitely think that a Ben Alda's full body stretch is something that I enjoy more. But if you like kind of weirder stretches, you might really enjoy this. I will say that I did do moves that I haven't done before. Difficulty, I think anyone could do it, but I do think you definitely need a foam roller of some sort. You could probably make do without the yoga blocks, but yeah, if you don't have a foam roller for this class, you're definitely going to have a bad time. A lot of the moves revolve around it. So overall, interesting start off to the program, and I'm curious to see how the rest of the week goes. It is now the next day. It's the morning. I'm going to go work out, and then we're going to get into the stretch of the day. Today is going to be pool day, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to do 2 stretches, like the stretch in this program and then a upper body stretch, because I do pretty like intense pool day. So I really need to make sure that I am stretched out. But I think my plan is to do my pool class, and then I'm going to go straight on into day 2 of this program, which is a 10-minute stretch with Hannah Corbin. The description is, allow your body to move the way it was meant to. Release tightness and unlock mobility in this tangy stretch. And it doesn't list equipment that you need, but in the like screenshot photo, she does have a like little ball. I will be using a pickleball. I think that this should work. We'll see. This is like the only ball shape I have. And yeah, I think that this is fine. I'm just gonna like bring it to the gym. It seems like the only thing I should need. And then we'll see how this class goes. But if I need to stretch more, I'll probably throw on either a upper body stretch or a full body stretch after this. But I'm excited. I have never done any stretching or mobility with this. I can definitely see the way that it could get tangy real fast. Like, I feel like this is just another more concentrated version of a foam roller. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, knock out a strength class, and then get our stretch on. I'm really not sure how I feel about today's class and kind of this program in general. I feel like this is going to be a similar vibe to the rest of the week. But essentially, if you have like an extra 10 minutes in your day, sure, do this class. If you're really interested in stretching and learning unique moves, I think you would enjoy it. But yeah, I really don't think that it's a replacement for any stretching that you are already doing if you have it in your schedule. And then if you don't have stretching in your schedule, I think there's probably more like beginner friendly stretches that you would get a lot more out of. So I would say this is kind of aimed towards people that are like advanced stretchers and that have a lot of extra time to stretch out. Because I did this one right after my workout, but actually what I will do in the future if I couple it with a workout, which I like don't really think there's any benefit to coupling it with the workout besides if you just like want to get all of your Peloton stuff done at a certain time, is that I would do my workout, do whatever normal stretching content I normally do, which is typically a 10-minute full body stretch, and then do this afterwards. just because I wouldn't even consider today's class stretching. I would say like more mobility, some foam rolling. The ball definitely is very reminiscent of foam rolling. The pickleball did work fine. So if you only have a pickleball, you'll definitely still be fine. And you also needed like a corner of a wall or a door frame, basically something that you could like lean your head through to do today's workout. So I had all the equipment that I needed and like it was interesting. I've never done anything with the ball before. So we did things like sitting on our butts, we would like put the ball on one glute. And yeah, that's definitely tangy. You definitely feel it. And she's like, yeah, move it around, and definitely feels good. I just don't know how often I would like work that into my stretching routine. One thing that I did really like is we basically used our legs as foam rollers for our other leg in our calves. So we would like angle our one leg across the other one and then lean back, and it would put the pressure on. And that felt really good. And I do feel like I could see myself doing that in the future, knowing that if I don't have a foam roller, but I like kind of want to roll out my calves, that's a good way to do it. So I do think there's things that I'll take from these classes. I just don't know how much I need to repeat them and how much I'm getting out of it, like doing the 10-minute stretch. Like all the moves kind of feel very random to me. Like we were doing kind of a lot of leg work. And then with the corner or the door frame, we had put the ball on our traps and we're like rolling those out with the ball. So again, that was interesting, but it's like, what workout am I coming from that this is an effective stretch? So that kind of leads me to believe that you should just be like doing these throughout the day whenever you want or whenever you have 10 minutes. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it was all over the place, but it's such weird moves that I don't know if that's kind of the point. Enjoyability for today, I probably like today's class a little bit more than yesterday. I think we did a little bit more interesting of moves. And like it was cool to use the ball because I have never used it before. So like learn some things I can do with a ball. But yeah, I don't know. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. For me, I still feel a lot better and like I got a lot more out of just like a normal full body stretch. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how like the next couple days go, just because today's class was definitely very different than yesterday's class, except that they are just like weird moves that I haven't really done before. It is now the next day. It's Wednesday morning, and on Wednesdays I usually go to run club at night, which is what I'm doing today. But I figured I would just knock out the stretch of the day in the morning, wake up early so I have some time before work. And I feel like this will be a good stretch to do in the morning. Again, it is day 3. It's a 10-minute stretch. The description is work through the day's stiffness and soreness in this zesty stretch that will help you reset and recover. And that sounds really nice to me. Have a nice little recovery stretch this morning. Get me ready for run club tonight. All you need is a yoga mat and a yoga block. And the video looks like she's doing some nice like spine stretches, which I love. And yeah, I am going to be doing them in my pajamas. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be too intense. So let's hit the mat and knock out this early morning stretch. First off, and probably the most important, this stretch is pajama approved. No sweating, feeling good, can definitely do in pajamas. And I think that this stretch was closer to like a typical stretch, but I did really like it. And I really like it in the context of like not doing a workout with it. Like it felt really good. Usually Wednesday mornings, I don't do any movement because I just do run club at night. So it was kind of a nice way to start off the day and just do like a 10-minute stretch. A lot of it was leg focused. So my legs feel really stretched out, now I'm ready to sit for 8 hours and work. But I do feel like this was actually like quite lovely and a good way to start the day. And this was definitely my favorite stretch so far. I do think that it was more of a typical stretch. So basically what we did was we did one side and then we did the other side. We started off with a side bend. That always feels good. Then we went into a cross body stretch that stretches out the spine. That is like my all-time favorite stretch. So if you have that in a stretch, I'm already gonna like it. And then we went into a lot of like lunges and then opening up the hamstring and the calf. And yeah, I'm a cycler, I'm a runner. My legs are always tight, so I really liked this stretch. And then we did do like a little bit of some weird moves still, but like nothing as weird as the past 2 days. Like the weirdest move that I don't think I've ever done before is we had our foot out for a hamstring stretch, and then we like leaned to the side and opened up our foot. And man, oh man, that is quite tangy. It's not something that I've done before, but it's also not some like crazy move. Like it makes sense in the context of the class we were doing. So I really like today, and I think tomorrow what I'm gonna try to do is actually do Hannah's stretch before my workout and kind of use it as a warm up. And I think I will enjoy it more that way. Like I don't feel like these are great stretches to like target whatever workout you're doing, but I think they could be a good warm up. So we'll try that tomorrow. But today for enjoyability, I'd give it like an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. I really like the stretch, and I could definitely see myself doing it again when I wanted to stretch out the legs. It is now the next day. It's Thursday morning, and we're just gonna go straight on into day 4 of a 10-minute stretch. The description is consistency is key. Continuing building your strength routine with this spicy stretch. And it says you need a yoga block. I'm gonna do it in the gym before my leg workout for today. So I think I'm just gonna make do without a yoga block. We'll see. I'm sure I can find something to prop myself up if needed. So let's go to the gym, hit the mat, and knock out this stretch. This stretch was another one where it was a bit more normal, but definitely like a little bit of weird moves, which I did like this one more than the first 2 classes. It also felt really nice doing it before my workout because this one is definitely very leg focused. So first it was nice to stretch out my legs since I ran last night. So I was tight from that still, and then I was going into leg day. So it felt like a good prep stretch for that. I still don't think it would have been a great recovery stretch. I did a full body stretch after leg day as well for more of a recovery. And yeah, I just feel like the full body, you're just getting a little bit of everything, and it's like stretching you out more than this stretch that's just like very specific stretches. But we did things like a lateral stretch where we were rocking back and forth. That felt very nice. We did one interesting move where we like were on our backs and had one leg up, and then we turned our foot out, which was interesting, and then like leaned it across a little bit, and you could really just feel that all up and down the leg. And then my favorite move that I've never done before is we essentially had a really intense quad stretch where we were leaning against a wall to like get our leg in a like really good bent shape. And that one was interesting. That's definitely one that again I'll like carry with myself after this program, which I do feel like that's the best way to go into these classes. I do think I'm enjoying this program more than I have like expectations set, where it's like, oh, I'm just taking this to learn if there's any stretches I like from it, because there are a lot of unique stretches, and that I'll do on my own in the future. So I like today's class. Enjoyability, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. It is nice to take extra time to add even more stretching to my schedule. I've been pretty good about always stretching after my workouts, but honestly, stretching before the workouts like makes the workout itself better as well. It's just like an even more extended warm up. So yeah, I really enjoyed it today, and I'm excited to continue tomorrow. It is now the next afternoon, and I did work out this morning, but I went for a run outside and honestly was just not feeling a stretch beforehand. And then afterwards I did a normal post-run stretch because I need to like actually be stretched out. So now we are taking a mid-afternoon stretch break, which I feel like I could get behind. I think that I'm really gonna like it today. We're going in with a very positive attitude. It is Friday afternoon, so vibes are high. And yeah, I feel like this will be a nice little break. So we are doing the fifth 10-minute stretch in this program. The description is focus on your side body and target those hard to reach areas in this peppery stretch. They're just like looking up synonyms for spicy at this point. And you need a yoga block and a Pilates ball. So we are back with the pickleball because it worked out well last time. And again, since it's not around my workout, I will be doing these in my pajamas. So we will see if this is a PJ approved class. So let's hit the mat and knock out this 10-minute stretch. Another good stretch, and honestly, I feel like I've been taking some programs lately that I've been stretching in the afternoon at night, and it just feels so good. Like, it feels good to stretch after working out, but it also feels good to stretch after sitting in a chair all day. So yeah, this one felt really nice. We started off and did some neck stretching where we're like leaning to one side. I personally love that. I feel like my neck is always really tight. We did revisit one move on the ground where with the Pilates ball, we did this last time as well. Essentially, you like stick the ball under one of your glutes. And wow, that is spicy to use Hannah's terminology, but it is also interesting. I'm kind of glad we revisited it because I remember like thinking that it was a good move at the beginning of the week, but now I've done like a lot more leg workouts towards the end of the week. I ran Wednesday, Friday, and did leg day on Thursday. That's actually not typical for me, but I was thinking about it while I was in this stretch because I was like, wow, this is really tangy now and it feels so good. So it just proves that doing different moves at different times like feels different to your body, right? But it felt really good today. We did a lot more leg focused moves. I feel like every class is pretty leg focused. We did 90-90s. That felt really good. We like crossed our legs on each other and leaned forward. Again, another good stretch. And then my favorite, this was an interesting opener that I've never done. You like laid on your stomach and then you brought your legs out in a V and then like made a diamond where your heels were connected. And because you were laying on your stomach, I feel like it was just a really good like hip stretch. It felt very good after sitting all day. So yeah, I really like this one. And I feel like I liked it because of the timing a lot, but these were like good moves. Again, I feel like I say this every day. I don't know if it would really stretch you out from a workout, but to just throw on a stretch like this one was a good one. I would say maybe like 7.5 out of 10 for enjoyability. I think I like the last two more, but today's was still pretty good and a nice midday break. It is now Saturday morning. Today is push day, and I plan on doing the stretch of the day before push day, you know, a little extended warm up. So we're doing class 6, which is another 10-minute stretch. The description is listen to your body and lean in. This tangy stretch zeroes in on hamstrings and glutes to help release tightness. And honestly, probably feels good because I have been doing a lot of leg work in the last 3 days. So I'm excited to go to the gym, hit the mat. You only need a workout mat and a yoga block. So pretty light equipment day for this stretch. So let's go knock out the stretch. This stretch was definitely not my favorite of the program. There was nothing wrong with it. I just feel like the moves were just not my favorite. We did a lot of leg work where we're on our backs and then we have like one leg straight up to the sky. And a lot of the focus during that is keeping that leg like as straight as possible. And I'm very bad at that, which probably means that I should be doing this stretch more often, but it's just like not that fun for me to do. But overall, it didn't feel bad. We also did some cross body like spinal stretches, and those are my absolute favorite. But leaving this stretch, I don't feel like I learned any like specific move that I would do in the future compared to past stretches where even if I didn't love every single move, I definitely feel like I've learned moves that I will do in the future without Hannah. But this one I just thought was okay. I definitely am glad that I did it at the beginning of the workout. It was like a nice way to ease into a Saturday push day. But yeah, just okay. Enjoyability, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. This is definitely one of my less favorite classes in this program. But not every day can be a winner, but I am definitely excited to wrap up this program tomorrow. It is now the next day. It's Sunday morning, and we're going to start our workout off with the last stretch of the program. Today is definitely a chill, active recovery day. We're just going to be doing some yoga afterwards, but I figured let's just start it off with a nice stretch warm up. So we're doing the last 10-minute stretch. The description is round out your week with this fabulous stretch where Hannah gives you the tools to continue your stretching journey. And you need a workout mat, foam roller, and yoga block for this. So we are busting out the foam roller again. And yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be a nice one, a nice way to ease into this chiller Sunday morning workout. So let's hit the mat and knock out this final stretch. I like this stretch today. It was definitely a good final stretch. As always, pretty focused on legs, but we also did things like turning our arms inside out and like stretching out the muscles here, which always feels good as somebody that carries around heavy dumbbells. I'm like constantly doing this stretch. For the leg movements, we did pretty typical moves. Like we did some lunges, we did some calf string stretches. We went back and revisited the whole like using your shin as basically a foam roller on your calves. And man, that still feels really good. That's definitely one of my favorite moves that I learned from this program. And then we finished off with the foam roller. We only use the foam roller for like the last 30 seconds. So if you don't have one, you're totally fine. But we went into the opener where you just like lay it in line with your spine and lay on it and then open up. And that is like actually my all-time favorite stretch. I know I say a lot of like the spine twists are my favorite, which I do like a lot. But if I have the foam roller, I just feel like it opens up the chest so nicely. It feels so good. And usually the arms are in a T, but we did some YW movements while we were in that position. And wow, it just felt so good. I feel like because I cycle a lot, I run, I'm hunched over a desk, that just feels amazing to open up. And now the program is over. Enjoyability for today, I would give like an 8 out of 10. I did like it. It was definitely in my top 3. My favorite classes were the 3rd, 4th, and 7th of this program. But overall, I don't think I would take this program again. For me, I just feel like I have a established stretching schedule that I really like and really feel like it is good for me to just do full body stretches basically after my strength. I think that I might not be advanced enough to be doing this stretching program. Like, I feel like if you just really, really like stretching or you're like trying to become more flexible overall, this could be good for you. And I do like that each class is pretty different and that like we revisit some stretches, but every single time I feel like we do new stretches and they are interesting and different. But I just feel like I don't know how much I get out of it and how much I would get out of it repeating it. I've definitely learned some stretches that I will do on my own, and like I never had a bad time, and stretching extra time is never bad. But I do think it's unrealistic for me to do a 10-minute stretch and then do my workout and then do another 10-minute stretch. It just depends how much time you have in the day. I will note that every single class, she's like, oh, this is to like, I guess promote or like honor my book of like, did you stretch though? but she literally never talks about the book during the program. Like she says that at the beginning of every single class, but she doesn't talk about the book at all. Like I have no clue what the book is about. I assume it's just her memoir, but I think that that's very interesting. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I do know that she came out with a book, so it was effective marketing, but I just like am surprised that she never brought it up, especially while we're holding these stretches. But I guess that's also a good thing if you do retake it. I don't feel like there's like a lot of annoying promotion in it. So that was also interesting. But yeah, overall, I don't regret doing it, but I wouldn't take it again. But if Hannah released another stretching program, I would check it out. Like, I do think that she is one of the more unique stretchers on the platform. And if you are looking to step up your stretching game and you want to do some weirder, more out there stretches, I would highly recommend checking it out. So let me know if you've taken this program. If so, what you think. I would be curious. It's also interesting because the first class, like, I think had like 30,000 people that had taken it already, but in the subsequent classes, it's only like 5,000. So I don't really know why there's the drop off there, but that is also kind of interesting to me. That is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.